G'day, I'm Alister Christie from LearnDelphi.tv, and I am on the line with Scott Hollows. He is the Vice President of the Australian Delphi User Group. And today we're going to be discussing the Winter Symposium, which is on the 4th and 5th of August in a couple of weeks' time. So Scott's going to be asking me some questions, so it's a sort of reverse interview. So I'll let him make a start.
Yes, welcome along, and thanks for attending, presenting at the Symposium this year. I actually just realised we actually had you there just a few years ago, in 2012, I think
13.
It might have been.
2013.
13, so great to have you back again. It was very well received in the first one, so we're having you back. So when did you first get involved in Delphi or Pascal?
So my first introduction to Pascal was Turbo Pascal 5.5. I obtained a copy of it and played around with it, and it didn't really do anything fantastic with it. It was just kind of fun to be able to write programs and make lines dance around on the screen, and one of the things I did was wrote code to generate fractals. It's probably about 16 or so when I was doing that on my 486, and I managed to do some real-time animation with that at a whopping resolution of 80 by 25, I think. And it actually was mostly written in assembler, because the standard Delphi code, while quick, I needed to optimize it, and I used integer math rather than floating point math.
Okay, how are you involved in the Delphi community these days?
Yeah, well, of course, as most people probably know, I run the LearnDelphi.tv website, and I make a lot of free videos. I've got some commercial videos as well, which people are welcome to purchase. But I've been doing that since about 2006. And it's actually before YouTube, so my first few videos, I think the first few on, there's a gap on YouTube where some of my videos aren't available. I need to recompile them so that they are compatible. But the original sort of YouTube resolution of 320/240 was not quite friendly to screen recordings. But yeah, so I've been doing that for quite a long time, and I've talked, as you mentioned, the 2013 ADUG Symposium, and I've done a lot of the Code Rage events as well. So that's sort of how I fit in with the community, and I'm a Embarcadero MVP.
Are you working on any Delphi programs now?
Yeah, indeed. So a couple. There's sort of the I work on a real estate product, which I'm sort of just doing contract work for occasionally, but primarily sort of full-time job is developing legal software for the New Zealand and Australia actually. So it's a leading practice management software in New Zealand, and it's expanding in Australia, which is good. And that's that product. I've only been doing that for about 18 months, and it's a very much legacy product. It's 20 years worth of source code, and typically what happens with successful products is you rush to write features continuously, and the code has not had as much sort of loving care as it possibly deserves.
Well, you've been involved with Delphi for quite a long time, going back to pre-Delphi days, Turbo Pascal, and all the way up to Delphi 10.1. So let me say this: if someone was to grant you a superpower to make one change, just one little minor change to Delphi, and it has to be easy to implement, have you got an idea for the Delphi developers to put into the product? What would you pick?
I don't know. If I could go back in time, I would slap Borland around a bit and get them to invest properly in it. Would be Delphi be far more advanced now than it is. I mean, it's really good, but it was quite a while that it didn't have attention. But in terms of a new feature, there's not anything I particularly would like. There's nothing I really need at this stage. Getting more sort of the community stuff into Delphi would be nice, with like Spring or some sort of object relational mapping or something like that would be nice. So there's a standard way of doing that, because it's quite fragmented. But yeah, there's nothing on my to-do list that I really want.
Yeah, it's pretty feature rich already. It's hard to come up with new ideas. My one personal favorite would be adding favorite properties. So in the property sheet, you could put your 2 or 3 most commonly used properties at the top. That'd be my pick. So
Actually,
there's been a
thinking
lot
about
of
it, refactoring in the IDE, it's not bad, but it's way behind Eclipse, for instance, or if you're using ReSharper in C Sharp. Yeah, some of the refactoring tools would be nice to have them improved and made more reliable.
all right. So recently we've had a lot of mega applications, companies coming from nowhere and suddenly becoming $100 million company almost overnight. And I've kept an eye on these, small applications over the years. What recent mobile applications have you seen that you've looked at and thought, I could have built that in Delphi. I could have been that $1 billion guy.
Yeah, well, a lot of these applications, you think they look simple, but when you start to really analyze it, they do take quite a lot of effort to write. So, I mean, I'd love to write the next Pokemon Go and make $1 billion in a few weeks of it being released. But yeah, I can't, and certainly if I had any secret ideas, I probably shouldn't share them.
Yeah, I was thinking about Flappy Bird. Someone put out a demonstration build of Flappy Birds built in FireMonkey,
Yeah.
and that company went from nowhere to multi-billion dollars in just a matter of months, and just it's now Disney size. Words with Friends, or I don't think Pokemon Go is something that a small development team could handle.
I've not tried it.
Some of those apps, you think Words with Friends could have thrown it together in a few weeks and missed my chance to become a multi-billionaire. So tell us about your symposium presentation. What are people going to walk away with?
Well, so I mentioned fractals earlier, so that's actually the sort of underlying theme of the talk. And just the, it used to take quite a long time to calculate a fractal on a PC. Now it takes less than seconds. You just look at so we're looking at multi-threading because fractals are mathematical things that can be calculated. Each pixel can be calculated independently, so we can do that on multiple threads, which is really easy to do in Delphi. And running tasks in the background so that while the fractal is being calculated, it's being redrawn on the screen. So sort of real time type calculation and drawing and that kind of thing. And also it's fairly easy to farm out to other machines. So I haven't actually written the source code for it yet, but I'm going to be playing with the app tethering and have it so that one copy of the software can farm out some computation to another copy. And so I get my Android phone, which is not as powerful as my laptop, farm out much of the computation to the laptop and calculate the fractal faster. If I get carried away, I might look at firing up an Amazon instance or something like that, or an Azure instance, and do some computation on that. Should be quite cool, but depends on the network connectivity and what have you.
Last question to wrap up the interview. So apart from your presentation, which is a good enough reason to attend, tell the viewers why should go to the 2016 Winter Symposium.
Oh, okay, you're sort of cutting out a bit there, but
Okay.
so why should people go to the symposium? I think one of the reasons I love going is the people, catching up with everyone and finding out what they're doing and what I should be doing in Delphi. So it's not just the talks that are important; it's the interacting with other developers, which is often even more useful than the talks. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to the presentations as well. So particularly Malcolm Groves is always a good talker, and Shane. I know I should have rehearsed his surname. Is always a good talker. So he gave me a copy of his book last ADUG symposium I was at, which is quite an excellent book on how not to prepare food. I forget the title of it, but it's a wonderful book. Quite historical.
All right. From his cookbook, that's Shane van der Vorstenbosch.
Yes.
And the other presentation, 4 presentations, the other one's Gary Wood talking about Altibo. on Raspberry Pi. All right, that's it for the interview. Thank you very much for attending. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the conference. We'll catch up, maybe grab a drink. And for everybody else watching, the ADUG Symposium is on shortly. Get registered.
Indeed. Yep, and you don't have to be an Australian or a New Zealander to attend. You can, if you want a tax-deductible trip to Australia, that's kind of an ideal way of achieving it.
Yeah, we even let the New Zealanders come in.
Indeed. Okay. All right. See you later.
All right. Thank you.